Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of TEC. This is the third time I'm recording this because my mic broke twice. Stuffed twice. I only got like 5 minutes in the recording, so it's not too big of a deal. But we are going up against JTK. I got some stuff to do, so we're going to try to blaze through this in under 20 minutes. Looking at this matchup right away. Let's talk about JTK. So JTK, I really don't know anything about. He's kind of a dark horse. To me at this point. I never played him, never really seen him before. He played against Orin last week and lost to Orin, which happens. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know why, but I remember the game was like super close. It was pretty much. I think it ended in like a 3-0, but it was a lot closer than 3-0. You know those games where like the score doesn't really reflect how close it was. It was one of those ones. So, prepping for this, I had no information on the coach himself, so I was just looking at the team. And obviously the big thing that sticks out right away is Kartana is just a problem. We have a couple ways to wall it. Tangle is kind of good, but it really can't hit back Kartana. And then we had no item Crobat, which is good assuming he doesn't get rocks up, but he has like Landorus and Deoxys defense, which both set up rocks pretty well, like amazingly well. But no item Crobat gets blown away by Psycho Cut, and it's a pretty obvious bring. The other thing that's good, Gyarados is those two are the main. Gyarados and Kartana were the main threats against my team. Gyarados can run like Expert Belt Iron Head and just blow up Clefable on the switch in because Clef is the only thing that can take on DD Gyarados. So that was obviously not a bring. Or it wasn't a check for the Gyarados at least. Altaria is kind of good. It's kind of good this game. It's kind of not good. If it's Dragon Dance, it's not super good. If it's special, it's kind of good, especially with Earthquake. Regieleki is good just to win him momentum, and that could potentially be scary because it just gets Kartana in. So does Deoxys defense, gets Kartana in. Alola Mola is good. I actually think Alola Mola is really good. But the only reason I think Alola Mola would be forced out is because if he doesn't have teleport, it's just too passive this game. Amogus isn't coming. I was very confident Amogus wasn't gonna come because it makes his team too Hoopa weak. It would need to be Amogus plus Chople and Incineroar, which is pretty rough considering you have both those and you want the teleport guy, and then you want. It's tough because Landorus is really good. Trampage is also pretty cool. It's pretty interesting. If it runs like the normal Violate set, it could potentially revenge Tran, Lycanroc, and then Hoopa Unbound with the first impression move. So it's pretty cool. It has just ups this game. I'm going to go ahead and I only have like a very little amount of time, like 20 minutes to record this, and I already wasted like 10 of it. Going through I'll take longer than that obviously now, but I wasted a bunch of minutes with the last two recordings. So let's go ahead and look at the team. Yeah, buddy. So the first ring we have is Choice Band Crobat. This 2-hit KOs everything on his team and outspeeds non-scarfed Kartana down. 2-hit KOs everything on his team except for the Crobat and the Alola Mola, which need about 5% chip, in which case Brave Bird will 2-hit KO. Inner Focus means that his 3 Intimidate guys do not matter to me, and I just don't get the attack drop, and I can mow through them. So it's a pretty big mon this game. It either breaks or it sweeps at the end. It is one of those two. It also is the only thing we have revenging non-Scarf Kartana. So this is a pretty big mon to keep around. Hoopa Unbound is Wise Glasses, Dark Pulse, Psyshock, Protect, Nasty Plot. I'm pretty confident that neither the Incineroar... Incineroar could come, but if it does come, I have other ways to deal with that. And then, obviously, it is designed to break the Alola Mola and the Deoxys defense. If the Crobat brings them in, those two are the only things that go switch into Crobat. Crobat U-turns on them, and then Hoopa Unbound is able to Nasty Plot, or able to threaten it out right away. And nothing really wants to switch into Dark Pulse, or nothing really wants to switch into either of these moves too much, even if I'm not boosted. So these two are pretty big together. I like them quite a bit. Blastoise is Water Pulse, Dark Pulse, Ice Beam, Flip Turn. Very, very basic set. It's pretty good this game for trading. It can pretty much like do 80 to killing, and then like take 50 in return, which is pretty solid. Flip Turn also lets me bait in a Alola or potentially a Mungus, and bring in Sukuna again. So this also supports Sukuna. It also can help mess up pretty much all his big attackers. Not all his big attackers, but mainly Landorus and then Mega Altaria. Both get kind of messed up by this guy with Ice Beam. Dark Pulse and Modest. This EVs are 2-hit KO. Spadef, Max, Deoxys defense here. So it's a pretty strong set, and I like it quite a bit actually. Regigigas, Avalanche, Thunderbolt, Toxic, Protect, 1v1s his physical attackers aside from Kartana. So it can take on Dragon Dance Altaria, it can take on Dragon Dance Gyarados, and it can take on physically offensive Landorus. It can take on one of them, or possibly two of them. So yeah, this is the set. It has enough speed to outspeed Alola and fire off a Toxic just to get it whittled down for the Crobat eventually. So yeah, this is a pretty cool set. I like it, but Tangela here is interesting. So Tangela will infinitely wall choiced Kartana pretty much most of the time. If it's set up Kartana, then we have a bit of a different issue, but then Mojito will be able to revenge it. Hyper Beam does exactly 50% to non-invested HP, or non-mega invested HP Kartana. He can only run so much HP if he wants to be faster than... what is it? What does he need to be faster than? He needs to be faster than... just Garchomp, so... Either way, you can't run a lot of HP. Giga Brain, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Synthesis, Hyper Beam. Sludge Bomb is obviously for the Altaria, potentially. Of course, Altaria should be running some sort of fire move for this mon specifically, just in general. Let me see here. Yeah, so a Hyper Beam is pretty big. It does 50%, which is nice and solid. Yeah. It's gonna be rough, but we can pilot around it. Garchomp is Leftovers, Rough Skin, Toxic, Earthquake, Stealth Rock, Protect. It's kind of a bulkier set here. It's meant to just specifically kind of throw Earthquakes and Toxic around. The things that are immune to Earthquake hate being Toxic, so that's good. Rocks are good just for chip overall and supporting the Crobat damage. And then Earthquake is for the Incineroar, and then the potentially a couple other things if I remember correctly. Let me oh come on bruh. Yeah. Obviously it's for the Regilucky is the main thing. It stops it from just winning momentum straight up. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into the battle. 8 minutes, we have time, we got time. Color off, music dark, or not color off, music off. So looking at the lead matchup right away, the first thing I see is no Alola Mola, which is huge. That means until Altaria is Mega'd, he can't switch into Dark Pulse very well. He has to be Chople, or he has to be Kolb or Deoxys defense. So yeah, Mega Blastoise is a very free lead. Even if he does lead Mega Altaria, I have Ice Beam, which is still good against him. Pretty much the only thing he has is for that is this thing. And then it's just a 50-50 out, and if he stays in or switches back out, because he really doesn't like taking an Ice Beam with anything. So that is the play. I'm going to put it on slow. We go ahead and lead the Blastoise right away as he leads the Landorus. So you could stay in and click. I mean, Water Pulse will kill here, Ice Beam will kill here, but there's no reason for me to click either of those because he's just going to switch out anyway, and nothing can take Dark Pulse. So I fire for Dark Pulse here, and he reveals that he is physically defensive, or not very specially invested at least. And this is pretty huge because that means Crobat can come in and 2-hit KO anything now. Everything gets 2-hit KO'd by Crobat, and this is big damage here. This is damage that he really can't recover, and he still is in the position where he doesn't like to switch into Dark Pulse. So Gyarados comes in here, which is the only thing that it takes less than 50 at 48% here, and Gyarados, I'm forced out because he could be carrying Power Whip, and of course he does reveal that he is carrying Power Whip. I don't assume he's going to stay in here. I think that Thunderbolt Regigigas is pretty predictable, so I go ahead and throw off a Toxic, which is pretty, I don't get really punished for it too much. But then he reveals Lumberry, which kind of sucks for me. But at +1, Gyarados is not killing, not me at all. So he waterfalls, and thankfully I don't flinch, and I throw off Thunderbolt, and the Regigigas kills the Gyarados, which is huge. Gyarados was like the massive problem. He's obviously going to be carrying Bounce. Power Whip, Waterfall Bounce is my guess is what he has. So that's pretty huge. He sends out Landorus, which is another thing that can take on Regigigas can take on. At -1 attack, after taking a hit, Avalanche does 50%, a little over 50%. So I just click Avalanche here. No reason for me not to, as he reveals Substitute. So it's really good that we clicked Avalanche here. And now, like, we're 6 turns in. Once you kind of hit like the 5-6 turn mark, usually you're kind of figuring out who's like in a good position here. And here at the beginning of the game, I'm in a much better position than my opponent. I have all the defensive momentum right now. Nanami really can take on pretty much anything, except for Deoxys defense, which should be faster than me, obviously. But I can take on Altaria, I can take on Landorus, and if he switches into Kartana, he's risking, body press or fire punch or whatever. He's seeing that I'm not afraid to like just throw whatever I want at Regigigas. So this is a pretty good position for me. Especially because the Gyarados is down. Nothing's really chipped on my team other than the Regigigas. Well, he has that big chip on Deoxys and then some chip on Landorus. So he SDs here, and I just Avalanche and bring Landorus down to like 34%. And I protect here because I did the calc here, and my guess is he's probably like Soft Sand or something. But assuming he wasn't Soft Sand, or maybe he's Adamant. Assuming he's like, or maybe I did calc Adamant. I don't know. Assuming something, there's like a 70-something% chance I live here, but I die, so it's not super big as I get to come in here and revenge kill with Crobat. So Crobat comes in and now gets to take its life. The only thing you switch into is Regieleki, which forces. But so Regieleki comes in here to revenge, and he doubles into Altaria, which is good. I obviously have to switch out into Garchomp, and I can't stay in here, so I go into Crobat here. Just to scout. If he's like, the only physical moves he could be is like Return Earthquake, which doesn't do anything to Crobat, or like Flamethrower, which also doesn't do anything to Crobat. So I just switch in here, and he clicks Toxic, which is fine for me. I fire off Brave Bird, which is not a good move. I should have clicked Cross Poison, but I was predicting like Kartana coming in or something. Blastoise comes in here on the switch to Deoxys, and now I have a free Dark Pulse again. So I just click Dark Pulse. If he goes into Altaria, I've revealed his set that it cannot take Ice Beam. So now the Deoxys goes down, and we're in a pretty great position now. It's very good. We have all the momentum. Everything's on our side. Kartana comes in here, and I start getting a little worried, but I just stick to the game plan and go straight to Tangela. And he does some damage here. So he fires off Knockoff, and that is 18. So I calc that, and it's Jolly, non-banded, non-life orb. It's no boosting item. It's a Jolly. So I'm thinking it's either Scarf or it's Jolly set up without a life orb, which is interesting. I think life orb was pretty good for breaking some stuff, specifically this Tangela. So Altaria comes in here. I Giga Drain just to do a little bit of damage. I don't want to reveal Hyper Beam just yet in case something like this happens. Regieleki comes in here on the Altaria. I switch to Crobat. So a good prediction by him, good double, but I really have no reason to make risky plays. Garchomp comes in here. He light screens. So light screen comes off here, and then if he can't risk obviously staying in here, so he has to go to one of these two. Both these two get messed up by Earthquake. So he goes into Altaria and takes like 50%. Or it takes 40%, but again, nothing can switch to Earthquake. I'm faster than this thing. So I just fire off my second Earthquake and take it down. And so now this is where things go bad. So right now, and I don't mean to come off as like, I don't know, like some sort of superiority complex type thing. JTK obviously made a couple of good doubles there. But up until this point, the game that I played was I was pretty much in charge from turn 1, from the lead matchup. I was running the game, and in a position like this, again, I'm not trying to crap on JTK. I think I might have probably potentially came off like that. But basically, this position here, if you ever like watch chess or something, like another game like that, a strategy game, they'll call like situations like this lost, right? You'll hear like commentators say, oh, white is lost in this position. And that means that the team that is in a bad position loses, like they can't win. And not that they can't win under no circumstance, but that if properly converted upon, there's no way that the losing team should be able to come back. So the winning team still it comes with the preconceived notion that the winning team needs to convert the situation properly. So I just want to get that out of the way. Like I say that this position is lost for him, or I was just saying he should have lost in this position. It's not that he's bad or anything, but just if I converted properly here, it should be a win, a clean win for me. So just to get that out of the way, I'm not trying to crap on JTK or anything. So Kartana comes out here, and we did some. So I protect the scout, thinking that if he is Swords Dance, he'll go for SD now, because I think my mic cut out again. I'm not sure. Why it does that. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, I don't know how far back it was, but basically, because I revealed what I revealed to him already, that I'm protect, that I'm not max attack with the Altaria calc, that he can't kill me here, and so if no matter what, he can't kill me. So I'm thinking now is his time to go for broke. If he goes for the attack, he's choice. If he SDs, that's his only chance of winning, and then he's obviously not choice. So I click protect here, and he clicks leaf blade, and then I literally this is completely on me. It was one of those moments where the game is going so well and everything is kind of in your favor all the time, that when you get into a position like this, you're so greedy for just getting the win already that you make a decision without really thinking about it. And in my case, I auto click to Crobat. And I think the time between these two turns was like 0.0 seconds. Like I was like, boom, Crobat. And I got greedy for the win. And then he reveals Smart Strike and takes out Crobat. So now at this position, I'm the one that's lost. Because there's nothing I can really do at this point, right? He's behind a light screen, which goes away this turn, but it doesn't really matter. I'm outsped here by Blastoise already revealed. This is moveset. I'm not sure what his last move was, but it doesn't really matter at this point. He should be able to take everything. So the only thing I could have done here, which still loses me the game, is go Garchomp, because I still live one because he's not adamant, I believe. I don't think I live one. I think there was like a 35% chance that I live one with Garchomp, and then I click Earthquake and do 50, and then I go Tangle, I click Hyper Beam and kill it. But even then, I still lose to Regieleki, because I would lose Garchomp to the chip. So I click Giga Drain, and then he leaves Power Strike again, and I just click Hyper Beam. It brings it down to like 33%, but it doesn't matter. The game's over. So big choke by me. I mean, it was one of those things where I figured the only time he has the Swords Dance is right now, because I've already revealed I can't kill him in one hit. I've already revealed on Protect, so I'm probably not running, you know, a fire move, and he obviously can't kill me. So I figured if he can't kill me, he might as well just go for the SD if he has it, but then he doesn't go for it. So maybe he doesn't have SD, it's just like 4 attacks or something. But yeah, it was just one of those games where everything's going well. You're playing everything perfectly fine. The win is right there, and I just got greedy and didn't think about the moves. So we're gonna take that loss 2-0. It's really sucky to lose like that, obviously, especially when you kind of have the win. But those moves happen. Next week we play Amarillo, so hopefully things go better there. And that is gonna be all for me today. Goodbye. God bless and have a great day.